once again. This is Oyeniyi coming to you live from the Lakehouse. Again, my name is Oyeniyi. I am the Chief Revenue Officer of a company, a startup company in DC called AI Squared, whereby we help deliver insights to the business applications. I used to be in this role here at Databricks, whereby I was acting as a sales lead here, at Databricks. Worked at Databricks here for 4 years, and I was at this same place last year interviewing a lot of industry experts. So for me today, I'm looking forward to speaking with another colleague here at Databricks, Paul, who will be talking to us about a whole lot of great stuff on Unity Catalog, how we're using it for governance, what is new, what is to be improved, and then let's just wait to hear from Paul. Paul, you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, fantastic to be here. We started our journey at Databricks like 6 years ago, at the same time, and we've all progressed, and we're here now, and it's a pretty cool conference with lots going on. So my journey, I started off in the field, and then latterly I've moved into product management, where I look after Unity Catalog for Databricks, which has been a big thing for Databricks, and we've already heard a lot about it in this conference. Nice. And we've got our big keynote tomorrow. I'm going to try not to ruin any announcements.
Nice, please don't. So tell me a little bit about, because when I was at Databricks, obviously Unity Catalog was key. This is where we're using as the governance for every single thing across the whole lake, right? Your whole data system in the lake, the lineage, where it's going, what it's doing in terms of where my assets are, also around your Delta Live tables and so on, and Delta sharing. Tell me a little bit about the journey, right, that you see with Unity Catalog. What's your vision for Unity Catalog?
Yeah, for sure. So I think as an industry, we've been seeing this macro trend, right? Yeah. So, 20, 30 years ago, we had the data warehouse.
Yes.
And we did data governance a certain way, right? And that was okay, but it only had structured data in there.
Yeah.
And you could only govern part of your data estate.
Nice.
And so we went through this innovation period, and we got the data lake.
Yes.
That was good for many reasons. You had Python, you had ML, you had unstructured data, all these kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But we moved backwards in terms of our data governance, because there was no standard, and you had to maintain a separate data warehouse as well.
Yes.
Now we're in this Lakehouse, right?
Yes.
And it's the first time really where you have all of your users and all of your data in the same place.
Nice.
So it's the perfect place to reimagine what data governance looks like, really. So that's what we've been doing with Unity and the kind of journey we went on to get here.
Nice. So when you look at where Unity Catalog is going, for other governance tools out there, how are you looking at partnering with them, like a Calibra or Informatica? What is kind of the partner strategy for you?
Yeah, for sure. So partners are super important to us, right? Yeah. For the whole Databricks platform, right? Yeah. There's tools out there that have been going for the last 20 years. Yeah. They are really specialized, and they do a great job. So we just say that all of the metadata you put in Unity Catalog is going to be freely accessible. We never do lock-in, right? Nice. So that can always be sucked out into other tools. Lots of people use it with the Calibras, the Atlans, the Elations.
Nice.
All of these. We have great governance partners. Amuta and Privacera and folks like that as well. So we have a strategy certainly of partnership. Yeah.
Nice. So when you look at where we're going in terms of, data sharing, Delta sharing, all the sharing, right? What would be the impact of a Unity Catalog for those type of new things that Databricks is coming around with, clean rooms as well? How does Unity Catalog really play into all those?
Yeah, I think, again, it's been this transition for companies, right? We've seen it. We've gone through this cloud revolution, and then you saw people really, realize they had this gold mine. You heard Jensen talk about it on the keynote earlier. They have this gold mine of data, and they're looking to productize that. How do they actually make this a revenue-generating stream for them?
Absolutely.
And data sharing has been one of those, right? So we have a bunch of customers who are actually using Unity Catalog and Delta sharing to actually serve data to their end consumers, right? They're selling data via our products, and it's it's an awesome place to be, right?
I love it. So when you now look at everybody's talking about Gen AI, right? Yeah. Gen AI is kind of like the core and the cool thing. Now, how do you see the integration of Gen AI into Unity Catalog if there is a vision indeed around leveraging, Gen AI to do some governance or lineage tracking within Unity Catalog.
I'm so excited about this one, Jimmy. I'm so pumped about our Gen AI strategy.
I love it.
So you got a hint of it today in the keynote.
Yes.
You saw Casey do her demo.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we had the vision for Unity Catalog, we called it the unified governance solution.
Nice.
And the reason was we didn't want to just have governance for data, we wanted to have governance for AI as well.
Nice.
And there's a bunch of things in that, like we have the ability to secure models, choose who can access them. You can bring in all your foundation models, get access to them via Unity Catalog.
I love it.
But the other really cool thing is we're actually doing all the lineage, so you get like the model, the lineage of the model. You can see exactly how you're training it, which is going to help you comply with all of those regulations that are coming in and stuff like that.
I love it. I love it.
But there's another part, Jimmy.
Stop with me. Let's do it.
So like we've had this traditional catalog, right, where you go in, you search, you find like data assets, right?
Yes.
What we're really now seeing with the compound AI systems, right? You want to have these systems that basically have smart agents you can embed in your Gen AI applications.
Nice.
And Unity Catalog is becoming this registry of actual ML agents that you can then put into your Gen AI applications. So it becomes way beyond just governance for data, and it's actually around enabling all of those AI engineers out there to do their job as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And as part of obviously our solution, like I mentioned earlier on, going from Databricks to a startup company, our goal is to be able to look into Unity Catalog, to look at where all those models are, and be able to guide those models to business applications like Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, Klaviyo, or HubSpot. So what are some of your external partner vision, in addition to some of the things that you have right now, to make it easily consumable, for other enterprise users?
Yeah, we love the integrations, like both on the input side, we had a lot of success around, we now have this way of doing federation, so you can connect to like, you have a Redshift instance, you have a Postgres, like you can get all of that data in, and then we're also, and watch the keynotes tomorrow, Jimmy, because there's a lot of announcements on our openness and things around that as well. So
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really excited and looking forward to to tomorrow, and just kind of learning and understanding. And what I do like about Databricks, again, standing outside looking in, right? After being part of the cool kid and now outside, I still feel like I'm part of the family. So I can always pick up the call and call you Paul. But as we round up this conversation today, what are the things that you want people to take away from today's conversation in terms of the vision of Unity Catalog and what they should start looking towards from our conversation?
For sure. Yeah. So we've all been loving the Lakehouse, right? Like 5 years ago, we launched that, right? This unified data layer, and our lead talks around like the tabular acquisition and stuff, and how we might be able to get some unification between these formats. So you've got this open data layer. We need to think about this open unified governance layer as well.
I love it.
That doesn't, and governance is way more, as we talked about already. It's way more than just about restricting who can access what data. It's about enabling people to do their job quicker. So really what we're looking for is that open, unified layer that really empowers data analysts, data scientists, and your AI applications and engineers to do their job really quickly and effectively. So we're really excited about that.
No, this is absolutely amazing being able to spend time, with you today. And I know it's kind of like quick and impromptu, but I'm glad that I could spend some time, with you today. And looking forward to tomorrow's conversation whereby we'll be talking about all the good things about the openness of where Unity Catalog is going to go. I don't want to steal your thunder. Are there any events that you're presenting at today, Paul, that we need
I've got my my big one tomorrow. Everyone should come along to what's new in Unity Catalog. So that's going to be a fun one for us tomorrow.
Nice.
And then lots of customer conversations where my job is to listen to our customers and see how they're using our platform so we can improve it. So lots of those conversations.
That's amazing. So I hope I get to obviously see you at my presentation this afternoon at 5:10. I will be talking about delivering model to business applications, the journey of AI from inception to conception. So I look forward to seeing you there.
I'll be in the front row. I'll be asking all the questions.
Thank you very much.
And I'm not a planner, but there'll be other hard questions.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Thank you. And so as we wrap up this segment, thank you so much, Paul, for stopping by. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to have a couple of people also join me here on stage today. So I'm welcoming my next guest. Come and stand next to me. Come on. How are you? I'm Jimmy Oyeniyi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Bruce Wong.
Bruce Wong. Good to see you.
Hi, Amit Pahwa.
Amit Pahwa. Nice to meet you. So I'm going to stay in the middle. And then you guys, okay, right here. Come on in.
All right.
I like that. Thank you so much. Well, thank you again for having me at this segment. We are going to be having an amazing conversation with these amazing guys who are standing next to me. Again, my name is Jimmy Oyeniyi, CRO of AI Squared, whereby we help deliver insights to business applications. Check us out at square.ai if you have a moment to, and also we'll be at the Moscone South presenting this afternoon from 5:10 to 5:40. But enough of me and more of these amazing people standing next to me. You know a little bit about me. What do you want me to know about you today?
Yeah, so first off, I lead our data platform org.
Nice.
And we talk about ourselves as we build Databricks for Databricks.
I love that.
So we oftentimes talk about ourselves as customer zero.
Okay.
And we actually own, operate, and deploy our Databricks instance internally for the company.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Yeah, so my name's Amit Pahwa. I'm
Amit Pahwa, okay.
Yeah, I'm a tech lead in Bruce's org.
Nice.
So my specific duties are around our internal DevX, so what are our internal best practices for ensuring governance, and how do we actually manage all of our data. Awesome. And then also a heavy focus on specifically metrics.
Nice.
So building out our internal metric store and handling all of our business metrics.
I love that. So tell me a little bit of what your day-to-day activity looks like as being in this amazing role.
A lot of coding.
A lot of coding, yes.
But then also just figuring out how we can continue to scale. That's what Bruce's org is all about, how we continue to scale out the organization and make sure that everyone's as efficient as possible.
Nice.
So how do we leverage Databricks?
Okay.
Which features do we want to focus on?
Okay.
And how do we make sure everyone can do their job?
I love that. So Bruce, how do you prioritize where to focus on? Because it seems like you have a lot of work on your shoulder to make sure you have the right go-to-market based on what you're doing.
I love that you use the term go-to-market.
Yes.
We actually oftentimes talk about internal go-to-market.
Yes.
Right? Our internal users are our users, our customers.
Okay.
And a little fun fact about our internal Lakehouse.
Okay.
We are the largest Databricks customer.
Okay, you're going to have to expand on that for me now. Right.
So, we have our centralized Lakehouse.
Okay.
Has 125,000 tables.
125,000 tables. Okay.
We have almost 9,000 users. Okay.
Okay.
And 17,000 jobs. Okay.
Wow.
And so, part of, we are living that journey as a company, as a data and AI company.
Okay.
Right? And so we provide the infrastructure built on top of Databricks.
Okay.
But we're also working with all the different functions to actually operationalize data and AI across every function of Databricks. Right.
That's good.
So we're living that journey as a company as well. Right.
I like that. So going back to some of our discussion, what does good and great look like for you as you start to put your thoughts together? You mentioned governance. I'd love to double click on that a little bit around what are some of the governance components that you're looking at enforcing as you build these apps out?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Bruce mentioned, we're the largest deployment of Databricks.
Yeah.
So that also means we are in every cloud, every region, so we have to abide by all sorts of different governance compliance standards. So for us, it's about making sure that we can process all of the all of the data that we collect on customer usage safely, make sure we can redact all the appropriate information, and then centralize it so that we can actually perform our analytics and understand how people are using the product, help us better improve the product and keep evolving the product as we go.
I love it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now are talking about like Gen AI and the advent of Gen AI, and every single conversation I have is all about generative AI, and we've seen the value that brings and delivers to the business.
Yeah.
So as you look closely to what you're building right now, Bruce, how do you see Gen AI really play into some of those initiatives?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the funny thing is, whenever we see the latest things in the product, and we actually get access to the early previews of the product very early, and we work very closely with product management on all the new things that we're building.
Nice.
So like, how do we live that journey first, and how do we pioneer our way through those things?
Nice.
And so Gen AI is just one of many things, but like every single part of our business is like, how do we empower Gen AI across everything, right?
Yes.
So, and like, there's also a lot of insights that we gather from our data. So I'll give you, I love this story.
Yeah, please, talk to me.
So like, it's not just go-to-market, it's not just finance, it's not just product, right? I want to talk a little bit about our facilities group.
Let's do it.
So our facilities team, we're a growing company, right? And one of the things that we need more of is office space.
Yes.
Right? And so we actually ingest data about our office space, and people are there. So we have, and the facilities team actually gathers insights from that data for planning. Right, and so planning our the next offices that we need to expand to. How much office space do we actually need? Right.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of like capacity planning at the facilities level that is actually being powered and actually informed by our own data about these things.
I like that.
Right. And so I love that example because it's like, it's not traditionally like one that you would normally think of as one that you can get insights from data, but we absolutely have. There's dashboards in there in our Lakehouse about those things, and then we also actually have dashboards for every person to understand, how often are you going into the office, and like what value are you getting from the office.
That is very powerful.
Like that.
And how are you tracking that? And what are some of the models that you have in place to be able to track some of these today?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we also do forecasting as well.
Yeah.
And like this is a good example of AI forecasting.
Okay.
Right. So a basic forecast, you can do a linear regression, and like if you see a line, you can draw a trend line. That's a very, very basic. Basic forecast.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But we've actually built AI forecasting into the Lakehouse.
Nice.
Right. And that way you can get seasonality out of the box. Right?
I like that.
And like if you think about seasonality as it intersects with the office, right? People take weekends off.
Yes.
Hopefully, right?
Yes. How do you optimize?
That, right? You can see holidays show up we're a global company. You can see holidays show up in the data, right?
Nice.
And so how does that AI forecasting help you understand those things? And it's really about understanding our behavior as a company and understanding our behavior going into the office and what functions are going in, what times, how do they work together. So it's really about understanding how we collaborate as a company.
Nice. I love it.
And so that's those are like some of the like out-of-the-box forecasting models that our data science group has actually built. And that we actually integrate with our metric store. So you
have a metric store?
Yes, we absolutely have a metric store. So.
That is awesome. So when you start looking at your day-to-day activity, what would you like the future state to look like for you, right? Like, okay, this is the organization that I'm running right now, and this is what I want the future state to look like, and this is what I want the benefit to look like, right, or to be. What would that be, and how are you planning to reaching those milestones?
Yeah, so that I'm glad you asked that. That's something that Amit hears me like a broken record on this. Is I always talk about, are we lucky or are we excellent?
Okay.
Right.
Good.
And if you can measure it, you might be able to say, like how did we get here, right? So measuring your metrics and your success metrics is like kind of step 0. right?
That is true.
Now, decomposing those metrics into like what are the drivers and levers that are behind those metrics,
yes,
and how do they actually add up into all those metrics? That allows you to make better decisions.
I love it.
Data-informed decisions. And then we can use those things to actually like lead and guide our organizations.
Nice.
Right? So you don't want to just be lucky, because someday our luck runs out, right?
It always does.
Right? And so you need to move into excellence. And excellence is informed by data.
Okay.
And that's how we think about decision making. So the decision making informed by data. And can we measure our results of whatever decision we're making?
Nice.
Right?
I like that. So how are we making sure, though, because everything that you've talked about is really amazing in terms of, the metrics, looking at to make decisions, and preemptive and prescriptive and descriptive, motion, in place. So when you look at what what the future vision really, really looks like, how do you make sure that the governance is in place, you have the right quality of data to be able to make the right decisions, and how do you prevent model outcome hallucination? Because you might look at the metrics and think, oh, everything is cool and dandy. What are you really measuring those against to make sure you're getting the right outcome?
Yeah, so one of the first things that hasn't changed, even though LLMs have unlocked a lot of like dreams and hopes and potential, right? But one of the things that hasn't changed is ground zero is the quality of your data.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like that's the foundation of all of these things.
Yes. Yes.
And so the thing that we talk about a lot is like consistency.
Nice.
Right? So can we have consistent ways to measure quality?
Yes.
Can we have consistent ways to define and write our metrics?
I like that.
Right? Can we have one place, not N places, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of times, I come into orgs at various different companies, and the business logic is actually scattered.
Yeah.
Everything from your spreadsheet, right, to your dashboard, to your pipeline. Like the business logic is just scattered across the ecosystem.
Oh, okay.
And that creates like very inconsistent data.
Absolutely.
It creates a lot of quality issues.
Absolutely.
And we always talk about this joke that like, hey, my monthly active users are better than your monthly active users. And it's like, well, how are you actually measuring
How do you measure that?
Right?
Yeah.
And so can we actually have a consistent, canonical way of doing metrics in an organization?
I love it.
And then once we have that, can we build the platform around that?
I love it.
That helps us make it easy to do that.
Yes.
Right? And so the easier that we make that happen, the faster you get to make decisions.
I love it.
The faster you get to see the results of those decisions.
Yes.
And ultimately, as an organization, we're increasing our velocity and rate of innovation. Right?
I like that. I like that.
That's what it's all about. Right?
I like that. I like that. So as we wrap up the conversation, for today, what would you want people to know about you? What would you want people to know about how to reach you? What would you want people to know about all the amazing work that you've done? So you've got to shine right now.
Putting me on the spot. All right.
I know, right?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, Amit Pahwa. I primarily work on the metric store. So if you are struggling with ensuring consistency of your metrics across your organization, come talk to me. I'd love to hear more, and maybe we could help you out.
And same to you?
I'll say this. Amit's being a little bit humble here. I mean, Amit's like one of the subject matter experts and thought leaders in the metric store space.
Yes.
And he's not just done it for us at Databricks. He's done it at all the other companies that he's been part of and stuff like that. And we're super happy to have him at Databricks. For myself, I'm everything data platforms.
Okay.
Right? I love seeing that digital transformation for organizations.
I love it.
I love the intersection of data and humanity. And
That's a good one.
And how do we think about that as a society?
Data and humanity, I'm still in that one.
Well, it's about decision making, right?
Yes.
So
awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, for my amazing, guests. Again, my name is Oyeniyi. It's amazing being able to run this event. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at my talk track this afternoon. So have a wonderful afternoon. I look forward to seeing you again, either after this event or just pull me in the lobby and ask me questions about the company that I'm currently working with right now, which is AI Squared. Our website again is squared.ai. Check us out. See all the amazing things we're doing, not just in commercial, but also in the federal government space. So thank you so much and have a wonderful afternoon. Jimmy Oyeniyi saying talk to you later.